A story in 5 words.
A war brewing over Greenland. Kennedy, European troops from several NATO countries have arrived in Greenland in opposition to the U.S. potential takeover of this vast territory. What the hell are they going to do, huh? With their little militaries, they're sending like 10 people. Let's crush them like bugs, I say. Crush them like bugs.
Or you could make a deal because you have all of these European countries, including the UK and France and all the Scandinavian countries, you know, Denmark, obviously. Greenland is a semi-autonomous Danish territory. Danish is a donut without a hole. Everyone knows that. That's how the country was named.
Can it get pregnant?
Hey, man, all bets are off after today.
Yeah.
You put that thing wherever you want, and you'll see what grows in about 40 weeks.
Yeah.
So if Europe wants to screw around, and if that is a show of force against the United States, and they're going on the offensive, like, I'm with Thomas Massey here. Let's get rid of NATO.
Yeah.
You know, it's like these are not countries behaving like allies. And if there is something in it for the United States in terms of rare earth minerals, then there could also be something in it for Europe because, you know, the bargaining position for the Trump administration is it's the same thing in Venezuela because it's not just the gas in Venezuela. It's not just drugs going through the country. It is the rare earth minerals. It is the stuff that we need that only China has that we think that will power our AI and our military in the future. And so that is also the play in Greenland. So if the United States gets it and not China and Russia, isn't that better for Western Europe? And isn't there a way of coming to an agreement peaceably through prosperity, which I adore almost as much as a warm speculum?
Oh. I'm going to put you on the spot here because you're a chef. Is there any Greenland cuisine?
Fish. Fermented fish, bait fish, krill, huge community of the sea.
Really?
The marine conservation in Greenland is like no other. And I know this because since Greenland has been in the news, me, like all of the other liberals out there, I've become an expert in Greenland.
Yes.
And that's what I love the most, is that people talk about Greenland. So every point you just made was incredibly logical. That's why people are angry. And if Trump says it's the way to go, well, then they're all experts in why Greenland should maintain its constitutional integrity. It's wild how people suddenly take over. And the other thing, really quickly, going back to food and culinary, is a bear claw a Danish? And I'm not referring to Don Lemon's sex
It's an
story.
aggressive Danish that if it hibernates under your deck, you're hosed.
Okay, good. Well, you know, power to the bear claw.
Yes, you know, Charles, this to me always feels like if you follow Trump, which you have, that he always takes the extreme position and works towards the middle. He's not gonna do something that the other side agrees with. He's gonna go, let's take it, and then they have to move to the middle, and then he's gonna pay.
Right.
You know?
Just like with the tariffs, right? We'll start a gazillion and we'll work it down.
Yeah,
You'll be happy as hell when we go to 50%.
Every stance he takes, unlike this is an epiphany, is reversible. Tariffs, it's not like a sex change.
What's even better about it is that when he comes down a little bit, they say he blinked.
Yes.
Oh man, he blinked. Taco Trump, Tuesday, Taco Trump. So, here's the thing though, and everything Kennedy said is right, and I think the Europeans know. You guys remember there was a book called The Mouse That Roared? It was a movie also, Peter Sellers.
Yes.
And like this little small country in Europe invaded America, 10 people, but they found this one weapon that brought them on par with us. When I think about, you're sending troops? I saw a picture of him, champ. Come on now.
Yeah.
I can get some people in a bar over here to take them on. So a deal's going to be cut. They'll offer some cash. Here's $700 billion. You don't want that? Then you know what? We're going to have a big piece of either we'll have some sort of domain control of Germany, not Germany, never Germany.
Yeah.
Greenland, because it's in everyone's best interest.
Yeah, and speaking of everyone, I want to speak to your people, Michael, the homeless. Why not annex Greenland and we just send the homeless there? It's like, I don't know, about 500,000 maybe in the United States. Like
Los Angeles.
Yeah, in Los Angeles alone. And just send them there, and then it's just call it Homeless Island.
I have been proposing this for years.
Yes.
But I want to do it somewhere warm.
Yeah. No, that's too easy.
Right? They see that coming.
Because see, what happens is, hear me out, You see, everybody think, oh, homeless, they got to be in warm areas. That's why they're homeless. You send them to a cold place, they got to build shelter. Pretty soon, they start to evolve towards normal living. They build structures, they wear clothes. Oh, I got to get a job now to pay the rent for this thing I built.
Oh my gosh, I have to plan ahead. Thank you, Greenland. Thank you, homeless island. I want Greenland, and we're going to get it. It just has to look good. I just don't want to insult the 50 people who live there, right?
Yes.
So what Trump should do is they should do like a little fake war, you know, like, ooh, pow, pow, pow.
pow. Yes.
And then, oh, wow, you guys fought back. That took longer than Venezuela. You really put up a fight.
Yes.
And also, someone's going to have to prove to me that Greenland is real. I don't think this is real. It's like, I've never met anybody from Greenland. It's like Vermont. I've never met anybody from Vermont. They keep saying it's real. I don't think it is. And if we do get it, we have to rename it East Virginia. Because I want to drive the map people crazy, right? Because you got Virginia, and then just north of that is West Virginia. So that. Greenland is now East Virginia.
I like that.
And Venezuela will be West Virginia.
I like that. I think we should name it A Better Canada.
Canada Plus.
Yeah, it's Canada, but we got a better Canada over here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.